All right, I've been getting a ton of messages from everybody saying, hey, did you see the new Q&A? And I just wanted to respond to it because it looks like they directly responded to my video from earlier this morning in this post. I don't know if they just saw my video, but I think it's because Reddit, looks like a lot of people reposted it on Reddit, and it was at the top of Reddit most of today. So I got to give a big shout out to Reddit for making it visible to the developers. Hello, Commanders. We're changing up the format for today's Q&A to address some of the community's questions regarding last week's dev update blog, which there was a ton of things in there that were sideways. Yondu's passive ability update. Now, this is not in the blog, but this is something that affected me. It also affected Black Widow, where the text read one way, the ability worked a different way, and then they later updated the text. So they updated the text on Yondu's level 5. If you're not happy with the way it works, and I haven't made up my mind yet, I probably will refund it, but you send a message to customer service. The way that it read initially was that if you're fighting against 10 enemies and 2 of them have a negative status effect, it read like it would clear them. It would clear it to them. Like it would always clear 2 effects and then copy them. That's not the way it works. It picks 2 random enemies. And if they have a negative status effect, it'll steal and copy 1 and clear it. That's not nearly as good as the way it read. And ironically, Black Widow had a similar issue, and there was another one that I did, and then Yondu. So fine, they'll let us refund it. Save squads. Cool. This is covered briefly last week, and we saw a lot of questions pop up around it, and videos. Biggest question was how many slots would be included and when would be released. We're happy to reveal that Save Squads is currently slated to launch with 2.1 and will include 15 free save squads. I like that. We needed that bad. This is a big deal, man. It's going to make the game so much easier to play, specifically Blitz and the raids. Oh, this is amazing. We really, really needed this. We heard your feedback, and we will not be charging for additional slots. We should introduce more in the future. So when this change goes live, you can use these Save Squad slots to save your favorite team compositions used in campaign, blitz, raids, and raid modes. And it seemed like the community was a little bit split about this. Some people didn't mind, but the people that I talk to regularly, which come from another game that is similar, thought this was outrageous. And it could just be from the game I play. They wouldn't do anything like this. Maybe Marvel Future Fight or Contest of Champions would do something like this, but Galaxy of Heroes, they would never do something like this. So that's why a lot of people from the Galaxy Hero side thought this was outrageous. Magneto Legendary Event. Now there's some clarity here on how it's going to work. And Magneto, it looks like it's going to be a character that, if you want him early, there's going to be a cost and a premium. And a lot of games have models similar to this, so this is not unusual. I don't think I'm going to be getting him this time around. And so what they talk about here is that it's going to be a legendary event that requires 5 X-Men or brother characters to unlock. And that's going to be Wolverine, Mystique, Storm, Sabretooth, Pyro, and Juggernaut. Wolverine, everybody can get Wolverine pretty easily. Most people have 7-star Wolverine already. Mystique is available in reward in Villains 5-6. Boy, you're going to have to farm like crazy to get Mystique to 5 stars. I don't think I'm going to be any close. Storm is available in Blitz and available as a reward from 2-3 when 2.1 comes. Okay. Juggernaut will be available with the launch of 2.1. You can earn Juggernaut orbs in his new raid as well as through an event campaign. So this is going to be just like Venom. Sabretooth is going to come from Premium Orb, which... oh, man, that's horrible. I don't know how to get a 5-star Sabretooth. But what they're saying is that they're going to have an event campaign available at the beginning of the new year. So that is probably how I'm going to get Sabretooth. And it's probably how I'm going to lock Magneto is on the second time around. Pyro will be featured in back-to-back blitzes. Cool. That means you can grind away in the blitz mode. And you probably can get Pyro if your roster and if you play enough. Prior to the Magneto Legendary event, additionally, both blitzes will give you the chance to earn Pyro Orb Fragments. Cool, with each victory. I'll have to see how that works. It'll also be featured in an event campaign before the second Magneto Legendary event. So there's a easier free-to-play path the second time around. Looks like there's going to be a pretty steep premium to get him the first time around. The new toy, if you're impatient, you're willing to pay, you can get them early. That's the way these games work. This is probably the most important thing, in my opinion, is update on cheaters and cheat detection. Over the last 3 weeks, we permanently banned many players we found to be using cheats and exploits. Has been an ongoing process that we've covered in previous blogs, and one that will continue to improve over time. With our 2.1 update, we're adding additional cheat detection to help combat players taking advantage of these exploits. This is a big deal. For me, this is the most important thing. There's nothing that is so cancerous, if you will, as cheating, and destroys the competitive nature of the game where nobody's going to want to purchase anything and the game won't do well. So this is, I imagine, one of their top priorities. There were some blunders where they were banning people, but they were still staying in the leaderboard, and they talked about that. So customer service, and this is in response, I imagine, to the video that I put up about 12 hours ago. And I've had a lot of feedback on that video, and my understanding of the way it works has changed since I posted the video. But more importantly than that, this definitely answers the questions that I had in the video, and I'm really glad when I read this, and I'll talk about this after we read it. Recently, some questions have arisen regarding how customer service inquiries are handled, and the team would like to take a minute to provide some insight to help improve the speed which we respond to your questions and to prioritize players who are experiencing time-sensitive issues such as crashes. The team utilizes a tool called HelpShift to organize incoming messages. Now, I found out later today that this is common, and it's actually kind of the way the whole world's going to go. Everything's going to go to bots. You're going to be interacting with bots when you send in messages, emails by bots. I mean, I know on my Gmail, it gives me 3 or 4 answers to respond to the person, and they're usually very good responses, and I can do that even with text messages and emails. So AI bots, and this is big games too. I believe Supercell uses this exact same service. The way that it was presented in the video was very troubling, and so I'm glad that they clarify it right here in this. While certain issues may be flagged as more time-sensitive and responded more quickly, all messages, including player feedback, is read by our customer service team before we respond. Regarding feedback in particular, we encourage our community to continue to send us thoughts and ideas on how to improve the game through the HelpShift system. Player feedback is removed from the overall ticket queue to be read, aggregated, and then shared with our dev team. From there, the feedback is discussed among our developers, with some suggestions directly impacting the future product updates and other items flagged to be addressed here on the blog. This process allows us to ensure all player feedback is read and considered while allowing our customer service agents to focus on replying on time-sensitive issues as quickly as possible. I actually talked to somebody that worked for Apple support, and they said that one of the things that wasted a lot of their time was things. They're there to help fix problems, but there's other issues that get to them. And so a lot of people were saying in the comment section, maybe they should split them out into 2 different areas. Well, it looks like the bot already does that, and that's great. In short, please do keep the suggestions, concerns, and insights coming in. No, we'll continue to take time to read and discuss, consider your feedback. And that is the most important thing to me is I don't believe that they read every question and they respond to every problem and they look at everything 100% of the time, or that they even consider 100% of the feedback. I'm glad that they're actually saying that they do, though. A lot of it's about perception. And if the perception is that they care and that they are listening to feedback, and to me, this entire post is a reflection of them not being tone deaf and actually having some empathy towards the community and considering most of what's going on. Now, I can't take credit for any of this, really. I think most of it has to do with the community making posts on Reddit and other places, Twitter, comment sections, and YouTube. But I think a lot of it, in aggregate, mostly is coming from Reddit. And developers seem to be in tune with Reddit, and they are I mean, this post does kind of show that they are reading it and they are taking into account what people are feeling and they're thinking. And so this is this is definitely in the right direction. Lastly, they talk about, would you like to see more events like Blitz or Treat? Yes! I got so much gold from that. It was great. Glad that you all seemed to enjoy the Blitz or Treat milestones. That's pretty cool. You expect more of these special milestones events to come down in the future. That's all for this week. Please keep the feedback, questions, and comments coming. Your opinions are very important to us and help us make the game great. We'll address as many questions we can in future blogs and Q&A sessions. And as always, good luck, Commanders. I hope this all happens, and I hope all of this is true. I'd like to believe and give them the benefit of the doubt that they mean this and they are going to do this stuff. I'm glad that they're verbalizing it because this post right here gives the community a whole ammunition if they fall short, and we can hold them accountable to what they said here in this post. And so this post right here, I'm going to bookmark it, and I'll come back to it later if things fall short a little bit, but I think this is a good turn. I really do. I'm really optimistic about the game. Like I said, at the core, this is an amazing game. I love Marvel. I love the structure of the game, and I just want it to thrive and be better and better and better because I'm loving the game. Some of the things I have problems with. That's it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.